I don't know if you can see this, but it's nasty out today. It's like 66 degrees. So, I thought, I'm bored. I want to do something. I've got a little project I want to show you. And maybe, just maybe, we can make a video out of it. So you remember I had my colors done, several weeks ago now. And we have some plans coming up in the near future. I have found it extremely hard. I'm going to sit. Found it extremely hard to find my wow colors when looking at menswear. So Julie started telling me she has experience with different types of fabric dyes and has done both yarn and clothing before. So I did a little digging and found that there are other options than what there were years ago, you know, with just the RIT bottle of dye that you pour into a bucket and essentially soak the fabric that you're going to dye it. So I want to show you something that I found actually through an ad on Instagram and take you through, rather than ruining my clothes, take you through what I ended up buying. And we're going to test this and I'm going to film it and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, I'm back. I had to go grab it. This is my dye. Okay, Dylon, and this is a UK brand. This is a pod that goes into, you hear that? It goes into the washing machine itself. There were only a few colors that were available on Amazon. And so I consult my good friend, ChatGPT, and I ask him, look, I'm a warm autumn. Warm autumns, you know the colors that look good on them. Here are my wow colors. What might Dylon have available for sale on Amazon? And we came up with this ocean blue. You see that? So there are only, again, 5 or 6 available on Amazon's website. There was an orange, there's like a red, there's a denim blue, there is, I think it's called a drab or olive green, and I can find olive green, and I can find orangish colors, burnt, earthy colors, and I have found one brand that does have something called Deep Ocean. But ocean blue, deep ocean, marine navy, there's a few names to it, was a wow color for me. So this is telling me, although on this bottle it does not appear that this sand dollar has green in it, because remember, warm autumn, my blues need to have yellows or greens in them. It doesn't appear that it has it on the pod, at least for the little advertisement. But I got ocean blue. He told me that would be the #1 color he would recommend. The second one was going to be denim blue, and I thought, I have, denim shirts, and denim is supposed to be just an all-over general color for everyone. But what am I going to do with this? And so I thought, look, I can find a t-shirt. The t-shirt I can get in that deep sea or ocean, what it was called. And I have one of those. I'm not wearing it now. I will show you, I'll compare the colors. I have a couple of things that are this marine navy, ocean, blue, Pacific green, some people call it. But it's just a navy that has a lot of green in it. So I thought, how do I use this? And so it tells me, you go to Dylon's website and it says, all right, look, you can get a color, like I could use this brown t-shirt and mix it with this, and it'll tell you, here's what it's going to look like when it gets out of the wash. But I thought, all right, but what's the best? The best is white, and I think that's kind of a no-brainer, right? First, I told you I wasn't kidding. So again, the lighting, I know, if you don't know, the iPhone will actually put over a lens that mutes some of this, especially navy colors. But this is the t-shirt I was talking about. This is Deep Sea. This is one of my Lloyd-Term notebooks. This one is called Pacific Green. This one's my newest Lloyd-Term notebook. This is called Deep Sea or Ocean Blue, something like that. And then I have a water bottle as well that tells me that it is Marine Navy. It's actually called Marine Navy from Arctic. It's a Yeti competitor. But if I just film this is all over the place, right? None of these are exactly the same, but the point here is to realize all of this is navy with different colorations of green in it. This watch band is actually called Cactus. This watch band is actually called Cactus, and Cactus, you can see, doesn't have nearly as much blue in it. So it's still in my color wheel, if you will, but it is not anything in the richness of these four colors. So looking through what I am packing and bringing along these days, I'll show you the other two articles. So we're gonna have 3 articles of clothes we're gonna put in the wash. Oh, I also wanna show you, this is another wow color. Look at that. Any of these. Isn't that the most amazing color combo? This is an ink pen that I picked up because, again, this is a wow color for us. I think it's called, is it lime yellow? Or I think it's highlighter yellow. This is a little ink pen from Amazon, but this goes great with that. So I'll show you the 3 articles of clothes and we'll get started going to the washing machine. Other side of the dining room table we go. There's our other 2 articles of clothes, and I decided let me go a little bit off script. So this is not a white, a bone ivory. I'm going to set it right there by the white, and then we'll separate that other tee by the white. So this one first is a heavyweight tee. If you were around the channel in September of last year, we were looking for the Bear t-shirt, the show on, is that on Hulu? I think it's on Hulu. And I picked up a Buck Mason heavyweight tee, but this is in a, like a, what did they call this? It was like a muted heather or something like that. So this is borderline. If I put this on, it is borderline. But I thought, hey, what if I stick the ocean blue? Let's see what comes out on the other side of that. Maybe it'll be more like the denim blue, and we'll mute this a little bit, but this white should soak up the majority of all the color in that Dylon. And then going through some stuff we had in storage, I found just this long sleeve basic athletic tee. It was not expensive, it was very cheap, but this is actually, again, borderline because it is brown, actually a little bit better, but it's heathered as well. And heathered just does not look good on us because heathered means there's gray in this. So I thought, let me see, these are going to be 3 different colors, right? 3 different colors that we'll use to dye on, see what comes out on the other side. Next up, we're going to read the directions and cross our fingers one more time that we're not going to ruin anything along the way. All right, next angle. Okay, let me see. Wash. Okay, put pre-washed wet fabrics in machine with unwrapped dye pod and remove the lid. There's the lid, okay? Run full cotton cycle on 40 degrees Celsius. I never like washing cotton on a hot cycle, but okay. Wash the fabrics in 1 more cycle with the detergent. Okay. Does that mean I have to wash these fabrics like 3 total times? Clean the machine by running 1 empty cycle. Boy, we're going to use a ton of water here. Don't really like that. All right, please read leaflet on the top of the container for detailed instructions suitable for cotton, linen, and viscose, wool, silk, polyester, nylon, and acrylic will not dye. Fabrics with mixes of natural and synthetic fibers will dye to lighter shade. Not suitable for fabrics with special finishes, i.e. fire retardant or waterproofing. 1 pod per 600 gram of fabric, dry weight, it says. For large items, pour the powder directly into the drum before adding the wet fabric. For best results, please fill half of the drum only. So I guess we'll run a medium cycle as far as the number of clothes that'll be in here. All right, so I'll have to put the phone down. Excuse me. This says this is a fully recyclable pod, ready to use. But I'll pull the directions off the top and see if there's anything else we need to talk about. It says just place in the drum. And the pod is made from 50% recycled plastic. But you just told me on the back side of this it was all recyclable. Okay, I'll pull off the top, see where we go from there. Okay, so I pulled the top off. There's what that looks like. I'm not sure what the arrow indicates. And if I can pull the tape away from this, I can see what we've got here. Please read full instructions. Okay, we've already said all of this about the fabric and which ones are acceptable. Special, okay, dye pod, yes, 600 grams, yes, yes, yes. Large items, okay. This is a very long instruction insert. I need to get to the actual instructions. About original color. To change color from a darker to another, please always use Dylon pre-dye first. Well, we're not doing that. We're going from light to dark. Please note, for sandy beige, please refer to specific instructions as per what is stated on the pod sleeve before dyeing. I don't know, is this sandy beige? That kind of looks like sandy beige, right? I might have to look that up. Okay, it's saying the same things though. Temperature 40 degrees Celsius, run a full cycle, pre-wash. Do not use water-saving cycle or economy or half load. Remove fabric, add detergent again, run an empty cycle to remove it, okay. And then it says dye the newly dyed fabric naturally away from direct heat. Do not use a tumble dry or radiator. So maybe we hang dry, we'll hang dry. Weigh dry fabric first, wear rubber gloves, dye fabric away from direct heat, do not add salt. I don't know why we would. Always use the whole pod when using multiple pods. We're not going to use multiple pods. These are tips and tricks that are apparently along the directions here. After dyeing, wash separately or with similar colors for the first 2 washes, okay. Only use a maximum of 5 pods at once. My goodness, okay, I would never, yikes. Should any dye remain in the machine, run another empty cycle. Well, we already know that. Okay, so I think we're good. This was last updated January of 2023. I'm going to, I guess, have to wash, certainly the new one, wash it first. The other 2 are recently clean, and then we'll get to dyeing. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I think the medium will work just fine. See there, it is wrinkly. Not too tight. The arms, of course, are a little tighter, but you can see very thin, which is what I wanted for summer. Lightweight, has a pocket, and this is the color I was talking about to make it the camp shirt. So I couldn't find anything in that blue, so we are going to hopefully successfully dye it this blue. All right, I have to wash this first, so we're gonna do the manufacturer's tag to wash this, and then we will put the dye in and go from there. Okay, 100% cotton, and it's telling me the same thing. So we will wash it at 40 degrees as well. And then put the wet fabric, we gotta put the wet fabric in with the pod. So this first, and then the pod. Okay, all 3 are going in. I'm not putting detergent in there because I'm not dirty. Whoops. I'm gonna go warm. We're gonna do the auto sensing. And I'll just hit casual. And I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I think this is done. All right. Oh, I forgot to take the tag off that shirt. Okay, let me do that, and then we'll put in the pod and run another cycle. All right, so it says to pull this. All right, so we've pulled that off. There's the dye. It says to place on top of the clothes, but I don't know. There, I guess that's okay. All right, wish me luck. We'll do warm again. And I guess regular? Yeah, we'll do regular. All right, I'll see you back. I don't know how long this is going to take. It's not automated. 30, 45 minutes probably. And cross your fingers. All right, let's go. Okay, I think I heard it stop. So you're going to see the first reaction with me. It's hot in this room. Okay, cycle complete. The reveal. Oh. Okay. Well, it didn't do anything to this shirt at all. Oh, look at there. The heathered shirt, it colored it, and the tag. I'll set all this out and show you guys the final color. This one is deeper. The short sleeve shirt. I still don't think any of that's ocean though. All right, give me a minute. Let me set this cycle on so we can clean this. Here's the leftover, there's the tag. Here's the leftover, dye. I don't know if I can put that down the sink or if I should maybe just pour that to wash out. All right, give me a minute. I'll set all this stuff out and show you what we have. All right, so I hung them up on the mantle just to kind of give you a side-by-side, and you can clearly see that the heathering over here definitely made it look more like raglan. It didn't touch the stitch. The stitch is still white. You can still see the stitch, whoops, on the shirt. Set that back up. I like it. It does seem to be even. I'll turn it around. There was one spot, and it might just be because the shirt's wet. Where was it? I think there was one spot. Well, you can kind of see in here, but I think that maybe just because it's wet that it took on more color, but maybe that's not the case. Remember, we have to let these air dry for the first couple of washes. This one, again, the stitching was left white, so was the tag, so it must be made out of a different material. Much darker, again, side by side, much darker color. You can see all the stitching stayed white. This one did fall too. This one did take on more color. But again, not what I thought. There's no green in this. This is, to me, more sky blue, I think. Maybe as it air dries, it'll get deeper or darker. But we'll let these dry, and then I will come back, kind of give you a little wrap up and tell you whether or not I think this is worth it. I will say the coloration, it did take on the color very well. Appears to be very even. I have to cut, there's a little bit of stitching that was overlapped here, but that's not a problem. It's just extra. So it's even, well distributed, and I guess 2 articles are going to be enough saturation. That third one didn't even take on the single bit of color, not even the tag. So I don't know if this was enough material, too much material, or the right amount of material, but I'm not seeing an ocean blue. Anyway, we'll let these dry, see if the color changes, and I will try this shirt and kind of maybe give you a side-by-side once they've dried and taken on their color. Okay, I'll check back in with you shortly. It is the next day. I have taken both articles off of the hangers, folded the t-shirt up, didn't really dull. It's about what we saw the last time. Pulled this off the hanger. It didn't dull either, nor did they get any brighter. It did take quite a while to air dry. I'm going to try this shirt on, and then we will give you a conclusion as to whether or not we think this is worth the money. Okay, so this is in the bright light in the bathroom. I'll kind of move it around, let you see. Not my favorite color ever, right? But I will say that Dylon definitely saturated evenly. Everything washed, nothing actually stained, which was great. And it didn't change the quality of the fabric. It smelled a little artificial before the second wash. So when I first pulled them out and showed you guys, but after I let them air dry, they smell fine. I don't really know if it's worth the money or not, only because the price varies so greatly on Amazon and the ship date that I'm not sure if they're popular enough yet to really get a fundamental understanding of what the color is going to be when you pull it out of the wash. Otherwise, I certainly think it's worth the money with the ease of use, the easy cleanup, and the full saturation of the clothing. And again, it said you could add less to have it more saturated or more to have the opposite, and you can put up to 5 pods in the washer to get a variety of colors. But for a standalone, this is not ocean blue, maybe Caribbean blue, but there's no yellow, there's no green in here. I've got a little piece of actual turquoise, so there is my ocean blue, and you can see compared to that, certainly no green in there. But it was a fun experience. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a little bit educational. Might try it again, might mix 2 colors next time. I think if I were to buy that olive green we talked about in the beginning of the video and put it in with this new color, maybe we get Caribbean blue when we pull it out of the wash. I'm not sure, so stay tuned for that. But otherwise, thank you for joining me, guys, on this little side quest on such a rainy, overcast day. I was just thinking, I was putting the thoughts out for sunshine and Florida days, and so picking up this $14 shirt off of Amazon, I think it was completely worth it. 100% cotton. I'll be able to use it, maybe not all season, but certainly all season, the further south that we go. So have a great day. See you again in another one very soon. Thanks for watching.